Hello everyone. Today I'll be talking about bills, the refrain for everyone living outside Nigeria since 19 irrigating. But we all know that in recent times, everybody is talking about it, even those that were not complaining about bills before. Everybody is feeling it. The cost of living has skyrocketed in recent times. So in this video, I'll be sharing our bills for where we live so that you can compare and see if you are spending too much, to see if your energy company is charging you too much. I'll be talking about housing, cost of food, electricity bills, gas bill, water bill, phone bill, cost of owning a car, and philanthropy. I'll start with philanthropy. More than ever before, we are spending more money on philanthropy. If you're in touch with home, Nigeria, you know that even though we were already in the high cost of living era recently, the cost of goods and services went through the roof in Nigeria because the fuel subsidy was removed without a cushion. What this kind of thing does is that it increases the number of calls we get from home. Yeah, people call us at all hours of the day. So recently we had to increase the percentage of our income that goes towards philanthropy from 10% to 15%. And that's not even the cap, because let me tell you, there are some calls that you get you cannot say no to when it's a life or death situation. And SendWave, a secure money transfer app, makes it possible for us to send money to Nigeria from the comfort of our home, or even if you're outside, as long as you have your phone with you. Some calls, some SOS calls can come in the middle of the night. Oh, we need to make a deposit before someone can get a treatment at the hospital. And the good news is that now, today, the person can receive the money in their Naira account. Remember the days, I did a video on this channel about the days when CBN was making us send money to Nigeria, send money to our aged parents and grandparents in the villages, send money to them in dollars. Oh, the bad old days. Not anymore. With SendWave, you can conveniently send money to Nigerian Naira accounts absolutely free and at competitive exchange rates. If you live in the USA, Canada, Spain, France, Italy, Ireland, Belgium, yeah, so many more countries now, you can use the SendWave app to send money to Nigeria, straight into Nigerian Naira accounts, from the comfort of your home, office, when you're outside, when you're on holiday. If you're following this channel bumper to bumper, you should already have SendWave. But you don't have SendWave, download the SendWave app today from Play Store or App Store and start using it to send money to Nigeria. Use my promo code FLOW to get $10, including Canadian dollars, 10 euros added to your very first transfer. So if you're sending $10, the person in Nigeria will get an additional equivalent of $10 in their Naira account. If it's your first time using SendWave, they will ask you for your government ID and your credit card to enable them take the money from your account. It's just like when you make a purchase with your debit or credit card. Don't worry, SendWave is a secure company that uses end-to-end encryption, so your details are safe with them. If you are stuck for any reason, let me know in the comments and we will sort it out, okay? Continuing, we go from philanthropy and work our way back up. The next bill I'm going to talk about is the cost of owning a car. There are 5 aspects of owning a car: fueling the car maintenance, road tax, car insurance, the one we call Ite Ube here, which is a vehicle inspection to ensure that the car or vehicle, whatever type of vehicle, is roadworthy, that it's safe to be driven on the roads. It's known as MOT in the UK. What is it called in the US? First one, fueling the car. The good thing about living in Spain is that they build upwards rather than sideways. So everywhere is close to everywhere. Everywhere is within walking distance to everywhere. You find that you have supermarkets close to you, you have clinics, that is health centers close to you, and schools. When my children were in primary school, we had at least 4 public schools that are within 10 to 15 minutes walking distance to our homes. In this city, we have a great public transport system. The bus service is great, so you don't really need a car here. A lot of people can survive without cars. Some people that own cars, they hardly drive them. They just park them in the garages till whenever, maybe when they want to go to their villages. For us, we mostly use our car to go shopping for groceries during the weekends because, you know, the groceries are heavy, so to carry it, and then to go for meetings. And it also depends on where the person hosting the meeting lives in. If the person lives bang in the middle of the city center, be rest assured that we're going by bus because it's usually difficult to find parking in the city centers. Then we go for picnics during the summer, only during the summer, and then we go outside the city, like leisure trips, maybe a place that is at most 2 hours drive from here. Anything more than 2 hours, be rest assured we are going by bus. Spain has the best intercity bus service. Yeah, very efficient, and they are organized. So yeah, this is how we use the car here. My husband's company provides transportation to and from work for him, so unless there's somewhere he needs to go during working hours such that he will need to go to that place and go back to work, he doesn't drive to work. So a majority of the time our car is just parked there in the garage without use. The amount of money we spend fueling our car depends on how adventurous we are with traveling out of town. I mean, neighboring places for that particular year. You can see here, last year we filled our tank 4 times. So far this year, we filled our car only 2 times, with the latest one in June. So who knows? This may well last till Christmas because we don't have any plans of leaving the city till the end of this year. Using the worst case scenario, which is last year's, I can see that we were very adventurous last year. Where did we go to? Full tank in September as well as October. That's rare. Anyway, based on last year's, we can say that we spend 25 euros per month fueling the car. Then car insurance. We pay 410 euros per year for car insurance, which comes to 35 euros per month. Then we have road tax, the one you pay to the government. We pay 149 euros 26 cents per year. That's about 12 euros per month, bringing it to a total of 72 euros per month owning a car. And that excludes car maintenance. You know, but to be honest, you don't maintain your car that often. You don't need to maintain your car because what causes your car to always need maintenance, apart from changing the oil, yeah? What causes you to go and change this part, change that part, change tire, change this so often in Nigeria is bad roads. Every morning you turn on your car, you hear a strange noise because bad roads have, you know, moved all the nuts and bolts in the car, making you need to go and check something, what is wrong. But here, in fact, sometimes due to Niger syndrome, I'm used to, you know, maintaining a car so often. So due to that, sometimes I feel like kind of guilt. Oh, shouldn't we be maintaining this car now? But they always give you a day to come back for something. And unless something out of the ordinary happens, you just need to go on that date. Finish. Next bill, phone and internet bill. All the members of my family with our mobile phones and our home internet are on one family contract with our phone and internet provider. We pay a fixed amount of money per month and we get a lot of, I think I need to read this one so that you can compare with what you have and know if it's a good deal or not. I don't want to forget anything on the list. So number one, we get, with that fixed amount we pay, we get unlimited internet at home to do whatever we want with internet. Yeah, you can download anything you want to download. You can upload anything you want to upload. You can browse the back of the internet. You can go down the rabbit hole of the internet. You can watch YouTube 247, like stream anything you want to stream. Nobody cares. You pay the same amount of money every month. Then number two, we get a landline. Of course, these days nobody calls landlines. I can't even remember the last time our landline rang. But because the internet needs to come to the apartment via a phone line, they still install phone lines. But you know, with WhatsApp and everything and free mobile to mobile calls, people hardly call unless you want to call an office. It's only offices that we call their landlines these days. We don't call friends on landlines anymore. Number three, all our mobile phones are on this one contract, with each of us having unlimited calls to all landlines in this country and all mobile phones, irrespective of network in this country, absolutely free. Nobody charges you for that. And then we have unlimited data on our phones for when we leave the house. Of course, when you're in the house, you can be using home Wi-Fi, but when you leave the house, you have unlimited data on your phone to use. All four of us, yeah? And number 5, when we travel, we have roaming. There's a group of 27 countries in the EU and other European countries. When you arrive, you just switch on your phone and continue using it as if you were in Spain. Yeah, you still have access to your data. You still have access to your free minutes to call. There's a cap on the data, internet data though, when you're roaming, when you're outside Spain. 30 gigabytes or something like that. What are you browsing? Let's see. I don't know what you'll be doing there to use up to 30 gigabytes. So yeah, I think it's a great deal. We never run out of internet data, and for all these we pay. Let me look at our phone bill for July, the month of July. Okay, here you can see our historical bills. It's hovering around 93 to 95 euros per month. This 97 euros is probably because we called a special number that month. All those premium numbers that you have to pay for. So for July, we paid 95 euros 60 cents for phone and internet. And this is because I'm still paying off my current mobile phone, which you can see over here. Every month I pay 17 euros 40 cents for buying my mobile phone on credit. I'm owing basic. I'll finish paying it off this December. So from January, we'll be paying 95 euros 60 cents minus 17 euros 40 cents, which is 78 euros 20 cents per month for everything I listed earlier. Till someone in my family needs to renew his or her phone on credit, then we enter another basic. The next bill is water bill. Are you ready for this? We do not pay water bill where we live. This is not for the whole city. This is just our zone. I don't know how they choose the zones that work like this. We pay something known as comunidad here, which is equivalent to council tax in the UK. I think they call it property tax in the US. Once we pay that comunidad, we don't pay for water. For us to be charged for water here, we will have to use over a certain limit. And that limit is so high that you will have to turn on your taps and leave it to run for the whole month for you to exceed that limit. So we never ever even approach that volume of water, not to talk of exceeding it. So as long as we stay under that amount, we will never pay extra anything for water here. The next one is gas bill. Gas bill depends on what you use gas for in your home. For us, we use gas for only 2 things. One, heating the water for showers, for washing plates in the kitchen during the winter, and for heating the house. It's gas that powers our radiators. And we only turn on the heater during the winter. Spain is a warm country, and even though we live in the coldest part of Spain, we live in the northern part of Spain, we don't turn on our heater till November of every year. Earliest October, because of me, or depending on the year. Some years are colder than other years, so cold comes quicker. But mainly for me, because I'm the one that feels cold in this house more than all these people. If you leave them, they will turn on the heater in December. Cold is what chased me away from the UK because I don't do cold. In fact, I'm looking for a way to move to the south of Spain where it's warmer. If not for my husband's job, I would have moved Tete. So yes, the heater comes on October, November, and we turn it off March, April, depending on the year. Some years are colder than others, so the cold lingers. If we travel for Christmas, we save on gas bill in December and January, because we usually stay in Nigeria between December, and these are the coldest periods, in the year. Our gas bill comes every 2 months. So this bill of 49 euros 83 cents you see here is what we paid for gas from 28th April to 29th June 2023. A total of 63 days. And this is a breakdown of the charges. What we consumed for 63 days is 603 kilowatt hour at 4 cents per kilowatt. At this time of the year, this is just for heating the water for taking our shower. Sometimes we may use hot water when washing really oily utensils, to melt the oil, but that doesn't happen often. Then we pay this hydrocarbon surcharge, which depends on your consumption, and it's not even up to 1 cent per kilowatt. Then here in Spain, we have this fixed term thing, which is the minimum amount everyone that has a gas supply must pay each bill cycle. It does not matter if you use gas or not, as long as your home is connected to gas supply, you must pay this amount. For those in Nigeria, here or in developed countries, gas is piped into houses like water. And then they install a meter that will measure the amount of gas you use in cubic meters, which they will then convert to kilowatt hour. And then they will read that meter, and then they will charge you for the volume of gas you use for each bill cycle. Some old houses here still use gas cylinders, but they are slowly phasing that out. Then you have alquiler de contador, which is the rental fee we pay for the meter. Here, we don't buy the meter for reading these things. We pay a tiny amount to lease it. So this one is €1.20 for 2 months to lease the meter. Then you have 5% VAT, which is temporary reduction by the government to cushion the effect of the Ukrainian war. Yeah. Gas comes from Ukraine and the price is shot up when the war started. This reduction started in September last year and will end this December. From January, we go back to 21% VAT. So for gas, we have a total of €49.83 for 2 months, which is €24.92 per month during the summer. This is what our gas bill looks like in the middle of winter, 4 times what it is in summer. Woo! As you can see, this one is from December 31, 2022 to February 23, 2023. The coldest period of the year, really. During winter, in addition to heating the water for our showers, we heat the water for washing plates because the water that runs through the pipes during the winter is really cold, can give you frostbite even. So you mix the water to make it warm enough for your hands, else your fingers will fall off. And then we also turn on the heaters. That explains why the bill is much higher during winter. So for gas, we pay €25 per month during the summer and €100 per month during the winter. Then we got this letter this July informing us that from 25th October this year, our gas charges will increase from 4 cents per kilowatt hour to 10 cents per kilowatt hour. That's more than double what we are paying now. Look at their projections for what we will pay in the coming year compared with what we are paying now. More than double. Then the next bill, electricity bill, the younger or is it older sibling of gas bill. Unless you're using solar, everybody uses mains electricity to power lighting points, all the lights in your house, electrical appliances, TV, laptops, electro-domestic appliances, you know, what you use in your kitchen, washing machines, sandwich toasters, electric kettles. In addition to that, for my home, we have a vitro-ceramic cooker. We have an electric oven. Cooking, baking, grilling, all those things you do in the oven, we use electricity for that. If you have a gas oven or gas cooker, this kind of thing will go to your gas bill. Yeah. So for us, the oven is a gulper. It gulps electricity. Yeah. Anything that heats up when you plug it, microwave, yeah, they pull a lot of electricity. Our electricity bill comes every month, and for the month of June, I'm using June here because we were away on holiday in July, so let's use June, a full month. In the month of June, we paid €65.27 to power everything I mentioned earlier. 247. The light doesn't blink, yeah, in Obodoyibo. So no additional spending on fueling a generator, no. And here's a breakdown of how they came up with the charges so you can compare with what you pay where you live. This chart here is our historical, consumption, history of our consumption for the past 1 year. You can see that on the average, we consume 200 kilowatt hour per month. It's low for December and January because we traveled to Nigeria for Christmas, hence the reduced consumption. Okay, our energy company charges us 23 cents per kilowatt hour. We get 15% discount. I don't know what we did to deserve that. Then they charge 80 cents per month for the meter rental, the same way we pay for the rental of the gas meter. Then we pay home appliances insurance for €6.68 per month. In case your appliance stops working due to electrical surge, then we pay 5% VAT on that. Again, this is a temporary reduction in VAT to help cushion the impact of the war. We'll go back to 21% in January. That's how they came up with the €65.27 we paid for electricity in the month of June. How much do you pay for electricity in your area? Please read your bill and tell me how much you pay per kilowatt hour. Let me compare. Now, the first big bill, food. This one depends on the number of people in your family, how many mouths you feed, and what kind of appetite you guys have. Do you have voracious appetite? There are 4 of us, 2 adults and 2 teenagers. And trust me, these teenagers, I beg them to eat. We don't have a big appetite in this house. We don't have appetite for cho in this house. So yeah, I actually beg them to eat food. We spend about 200,000 naira every year to buy Nigerian food ingredients from Nigeria. Yeah, you guys see, now when we go to Nigeria, we buy all these ingredients: okporoko, stockfish, egusi, ogbono, crayfish, yeah, all those things that we can bring here. So let's call that €200 per year. And if you divide that by 12, you get €16 per month we spend on Nigerian food ingredients, just Nigerian food ingredients that come from Nigeria. For the groceries we buy at the supermarket, let me check our bank account because I can't find receipts. Everything is there. These are all we bought at the supermarket and meat markets for the month of July. We were in Italy in July, and purchases made over there are marked in with a red tick. Things are much more expensive in Italy than in Spain, including pasta. I thought that as the headquarters of pasta, even if everything else is expensive, pasta should be cheap. Rice was double the price of what we buy rice here. I don't know if it's because we were in Rome, the capital city. Usually things are more expensive in the capital cities, but not food, right? Those living in Italy, what's the lowdown? Is it just in Rome that 1 kilo of rice is sold for €3, Hey, the thing shocked me. So for July, we spent a total of €486.64 on groceries from the supermarket. We spend about €50 per month in African food shops because, like I said, we get most ingredients from Nigeria. And then for eating out and takeouts, we spend on average €100, at most €120, per month eating out. I try to curtail, eating all these things that we don't know, all this food that we don't know what they contain, for health reasons. With that, for food, we spend on average €672 per month. I hope I didn't miss anything. Then the next babati spending, the next babati bill, the bill of all bills, the one that makes Nigerians speechless, especially Nigerians that recently moved or newly moved out of Nigeria, when they come abroad and they see that their rent is like more than half of their monthly salary, they are like, some people even press calculator and say, oh Tio, what I pay for 1 year in Nigeria is what I'm paying for 1 month in Obodo Oyibo. Do you earn what you earn? Do you press calculator with your earnings in Obodo Oyibo? Is it equivalent to what you earn in Nigeria? Is it equivalent to the minimum wage in Nigeria? When it comes to housing, for where I live, for reference, I live in a city that you can call the second largest city in a state, the second most populous city in a state. So that's a place like San Antonio, when you're talking about Texas in the US. That's a place like Zaria when you're talking about Kaduna State in Nigeria. A place like Oka when you're talking about Anambra State. Yes, Oka is the capital, but Onitsha and Nnewi were actually more populated than Oka, So Oka is a good reference for that. And then for a state like Ogun State, that will be Jebode or Shagamu. I can't choose between the two for Nigeria. When it comes to the UK, it's quite difficult to rate UK towns because somehow some of them merge with each other. There's a lot of conurbation going on, but I would say a place like Milton Keynes, when you're talking about southeast of England, Brighton, Yeah, you get the idea. We have 170 something thousand inhabitants where I live, so you have an idea. And here, the earnings here, the average earnings is between 1,500 euros to 2,000 euros. Of course, there are outliers, yeah. Definitely, there are people that earn way above that, and there are people that earn below that. Their minimum wage is, I don't even know what the minimum wage is now. Let me check. 8 euros 45 cents per hour minimum wage if your hourly wage. In 2023 in Spain, the minimum wage was approved at 1,080 euros per month. Although its approval has been dated February 14, 2023, this is considered retroactive to January 1. So beginning January 1 this year, the minimum wage is now 1,080 euros per month. That's for salaried workers. And then for hourly wages, 8 euros 45 cents per hour. To find out how much it is to rent these days, the current one, let's go to the classified ads section of our local newspaper, because that's where you find the most up-to-date information. That is, if you can find the ones that put the amount they're renting for. They would rather you call them to find out. Pisos y casas alquiler, that's flats or apartments and houses to let. This one is a one-bedroom flat with living room, kitchen and bathroom. It doesn't say if it's furnished. One storage room. This storage room is an advantage. In addition, the apartment gets a lot of sun. It goes for 420 euros per month. That's a one-bedroom flat. This one is a two-bedroom flat with living room, kitchen, bathroom. Again, doesn't say if it is furnished, but where I live, most apartments come furnished. They will have a minimum of, the kitchen will be equipped with washing machine, cooker, fridge, and then in the living room you have the sofa, you have the dining table with seats, then you have beds in the bedrooms. Modern houses will have inbuilt wardrobes, you know, the kind of wardrobes that are in the wall, not movable wardrobes. So that's usually the minimum furnishing you get for apartments where I live. It has a terrace, that's a balcony. It goes for 750 euros per month, two-bedroom apartment. That's a lot, eh? This one is a furnished flat for rent to students. 3 double rooms with a living room. Wow, say the rooms are also, the rooms are big. It has a terrace, that's a balcony, a lift. It has a digital front door lock, the type that has all the bells and whistles of a doorbell, of a modern doorbell, such as camera to see who is knocking. You can open the door for the visitor from your flat, etc. So this furnished 3-bedroom flat goes for 650 euros per month. This one says it's a super comfy, furnished and equipped 2-bedroom flat for 550 euros per month, but it does not have a lift. Wow. Now let's go to a real estate agent. This is the cost of buying a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom flat. Every other spending depends on your family dynamics. Cost of education for your kids, including traveling, because yes, traveling is part of their education. Extracurricular activities, what else? Yeah, fun activities, holidays, clothes for them, hair care. How does our cost of living compare to yours? Is Spain a cheap country? Should we keep quiet when others are shouting bills, bills, bills? Because yeah, I know that some people will see it and say, you guys don't pay anything. Is it more expensive here? Let me know in the comments. Remember, if you live in the USA, Canada, Spain, France, Italy, Ireland, Belgium, download the SendWave app today to use it to send money straight into Nigerian Naira accounts, absolutely free and at competitive exchange rates. Bye. See you in the comments.